In this lecture we are going to discuss about general anesthetics. General anesthetics. Okay, so before going into the general anesthetics, you should have to know the meaning of anesthesia. Anesthesia is nothing but the absolute loss of sensation. Absolute loss of sensation is called as anesthesia. Anesthesia is nothing but the absolute loss of sensation. That the person, if he was treated with anesthetic agent, he cannot feel any sensation. So the patient, otherwise the person will definitely lose feeling of sensation. The agents which produce this type of loss of sensation are called as anesthetic agent. This anesthesia word is derived from Greek language. It means the anesthesia in Greek language means insensitivity or lack of feeling. So in Greek, anesthesia is the anesthesia word is derived from the Greek language. It means insensitivity or lack of feeling. So you may experience this lack of sensation feeling or anesthetic feeling when you keep an ice cube in your hand. After some time, the hand cannot receive any sensation or any touch. So for longer duration of time, if an hand or any part of the body is exposed to the ice cube, after some time the part which is exposed to the ice cube doesn't respond to any external touches, or any external pinch. This situation is a best example for anesthetic situation. So these anesthetic agents are majorly classified into two categories. The anesthetic agents are classified into two categories: general anesthetics. Second category is the local anesthetics. Okay, these anesthetic agents are majorly classified into general anesthetics and local anesthetics. Okay, general anesthetics acts on central nervous system. And local anesthetic acts on majorly peripheral nervous system. Such that general anesthesia is produced by central nervous system, and local anesthesia is produced by blocking of the transmission of the nerve impulse at nervous level only. So general anesthesia is produced by inhibition of the by depression of the central nervous system, and local anesthesia is produced by blockage of transfer of impulse at nerve level only. Okay, otherwise at peripheral nervous system level only. So this is the major difference between general anesthetics and local anesthetics. Okay, general anesthetics is generally followed in major surgeries. Local anesthetics are used for minor surgeries and the small surgeries. Okay, this is about introduction to the anesthesia. So in our syllabus we have general anesthetics only. There is no need for discussion of local anesthetics. Coming to the general anesthetics. So coming to the definition of the general anesthetics, the agents which produce insensibility by successive or progressive depression of the central nervous system are called as general anesthetics. Agent which produce insensibility by successive or progressive depression of CNS are called as general anesthetics. That the general anesthetics produce loss of sensation by by depression of the central nervous system. These general anesthetic create a depression on central nervous system. As the central nervous system is depressed, it cannot take any sensation. So that's the way by which the general anesthetics are produce loss of sensation. Okay, so these all general anesthetics agents are acts on two regions of the brain. Particularly general anesthetics acts on the two major regions of the brain. The first region of the brain is the midbrain reticular activating system region of the brain, and second part is the cerebral cortex of the brain. So these general anesthetic all acts on the brain, on the central nervous system. In the central nervous system, they acts on the brain, majorly acts on two regions of the brain. The first region of the brain is the midbrain reticular activating system of the brain, and second part is the cerebral cortex, to produce complete but reversible loss of consciousness. So this is about area of acting of this general anesthetics. They act on central nervous system at particularly midbrain reticular activating system region of the brain and cerebral cortex region of the brain. So GA produces descending depression of the central nervous system. So slowly it depresses the central nervous system by acting. First they depress the cerebral cortex region of the brain, then it depresses the basal ganglia, then it depresses cerebellum, then it depresses spinal cord. So depression is nothing but not responding stage. If depression is simply in simple terms, it's a non-response. If it is a non-response, that is called as depression. Depression is nothing but a non-response stage is called as depression. So this general anesthetic produce first depression at cerebral cortex region, then basal ganglia region, then cerebellum, then finally spinal cord. So okay, so cardiac features of the general anesthetics are, there are four features. Okay, there are four features. The first feature is loss of sensation. By whenever a patient or anyone who takes general anesthetic, they have a feeling called a loss of sensation, especially pain. They cannot feel any pain. So the first effect produced by administration of general anesthetic is the loss of sensation, especially loss of pain. Then second effect produces sleep, otherwise unconsciousness. Sleep or unconsciousness and amnesia. And fourth, the third feature produced by general anesthetic administration, the abolition of somatic and automatic reflexes. Abolition of somatic and automatic reflexes. In our body, so many reflexes are there. Working of eye, working of knees, working of various, mainly depends upon this somatic and autonomic reflexes. So these will be inhibited. It will be abolished or inhibited. So the fourth feature which will be produced by general anesthetic is immobility and muscle relaxation. So by administration of general anesthetic, these four effects will be produced in a person who takes it. Generally, these general anesthetics are administered to the patient, those who are under major surgeries like brain, spinal surgery, and other accidental surgeries. Okay, this is about cardiac features of the general anesthetics. Coming to the stages of general anesthesia, there are four stages. The first stage is from GA inhalation, or generally general anesthetics are given by two ways: by inhalation or by IV administration. By inhalation or by administration. Wait for a minute. Okay, the first stage is whenever a patient is inhaled or taken an general anesthetic, the time period from taking or administration of the GA general anesthetic, and it produces unconsciousness. Otherwise, start of unconsciousness. This time period taken from administration to start of unconsciousness is called as stage 1. The time period from administration to the start of unconsciousness is called as stage 1. And after some time, after taking general anesthetic, after some time, after start of unconsciousness, after some time, the patient complete loss of consciousness. Okay, so the patient will undergoes loss of consciousness, and there is an irregular breathing as well as there is an excitement in the patient will be observed. So from and as well as this stage is this time period taken from start of unconsciousness to loss of unconsciousness associated with irregular breathing and excitement is called as stage 2. Stage 2 is the time period taken from start of unconsciousness to loss of consciousness, irregular breathing and excitement is called as stage 2. Okay, from this time to this next effect will produce is re-establishment of regular breathing with complete relaxation of all reflexes. Okay, no muscle tone this way. So this the time period which taken from loss of unconsciousness to regular breathing and excitement to re-establishment of regular breathing with complete relaxation of all reflexes and no muscle tone, this time period is called as stage 3. Okay, so after some time, if the patient is again, even though patient is given with the general anesthesia, he will goes to a complete respiratory circulatory failure leads to death. This time period is total time period called as stage 4. I will again explain clearly, don't worry. Okay, generally the anesthesia, the time period of the anesthesia is classified into 4 stages. The time of anesthesia is classified into 4 stages. It's related to the dose. Whenever general anesthetic is administered to the patient, and after some time unconsciousness will be started. The time period which is taken from administration to start of unconsciousness is called as stage 1. After that, starting of unconsciousness to loss of unconsciousness and irregular breathing, excitement will be occurs in the patient. That time period is the duration of time period from start of unconsciousness to otherwise end of stage 1 to loss of consciousness, irregular breathing, excitement is called as stage 2. After stage 2, the patient after some time the patient there is a re-establishment where the regular breathing occurs with complete relaxation of all reflexes and no muscle tone. This time period taken from this phase to this stage is called as stage 3. At this stage only generally surgeries are carried out. If the patient is if he more responses to this general anesthetic, he may go to the respiratory circulatory failure leads to death. That overdose of the general anesthetic is given to that patient. So if a patient is given an overdose of general anesthetic, he will go for stage 4. In the stage 4, there is an respiratory circulatory failure occurs leads to death if the overdose of then general anesthetic is given. So general anesthesia, the stages general anesthesia is classified into 4. The administration of general anesthesia with respect to time is classified into 4 stages: stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. Okay, this is about based upon time period, based upon as the general anesthetic is given, First he become unconsciousness. The time period from taking of this general anesthetic to start of unconsciousness is called as stage 1. After some time, this is the stage of loss of start of unconsciousness. As the time increases, the consciousness will be lost, and the patient will become entirely unconscious. He becomes irregular. He have irregular breathing and excitement. He will be excited. After this stage, the patient will completely become relaxed, and there is no muscle tone. There is no any reflexes, and there is a regular breathing. This time period is called as stage 3. After stage 3, if the drug is overdosed, if the patient is overdosed with the general anesthetic, he will become death by respiratory and circulatory failure. With respect to the time period of administration of general anesthesia is classified into 4 stages. This is about classification of stages of general anesthesia. The stage 1 of general anesthesia is called as stage of analgesia. It's also called as, wait for a second. The stage 1 is called as, stage 1 is also stage of analgesia. Stage of analgesia or cortical stage The stage 1 is the time period from administration to the start of unconsciousness. So whenever an general anesthetic is taken, it causes mild depression of the higher cortical centers. That means cortex. As I already 4 parts are discussed, the 4 parts will be slowly one by one. It will be undergoes depression. So in this stage 1, pain progressively abolish. In this stage, there is no feeling of pain to the patients. But patient remains conscious, as because starting of unconsciousness is started. Okay, remains conscious, can hear, can see, but feel dreamlike stage. He can feel only dreamlike stage. This is the stage 1. In stage 1, reflexes and respiration remains normal. This is about stage 1. The stage 1 is called as stage of analgesia or cortical stage. Coming to the stage 2. After stage 1, the person who takes GA will undergo to the stage 2. The stage 2 is called as stage of delirium and excitement. So this stage 2 is called as stage of delirium and excitement. In this stage is accompanied with excitement, delirium, uncoordinated muscle movements and breath holding, such that the patient may he struggles and he moves his body. Muscle tone increases, jaws tightly closed, and breathing jerks are observed. As due to breathing jerks, he may vomit, he may defecate, so that the patient moves on bed like a paralysis patient. The eyelash reflex will disappear. The first identification for stage is the eyelash reflex will be disappear. That means the patient cannot open his eyes by his own himself. The patient cannot open his eyes. Eyes will be closed as a result of eyelash reflex disappearance. So this is the stage 2. This is very dangerous stage. In this stage, a proper doctor monitoring must be there. After stage 2, the stage 3 will be appear. The stage 3 is called as stage of surgical anesthesia. At this stage, first stage over. After some time, second stage appears. After some time, the third stage of years, they start at the in phase 3, otherwise stage 3 is called a stage of surgical anesthesia. In stage 3, there are 4 possible planes are possible. This stage 3 is divided into 4 planes. The first plane is the spinal reflexes lost. The spinal cord doesn't respond to any reflexes, and muscle reflexes are lost. Paralysis of intercostal muscle occurs and muscle tone disappears. Muscle tone disappears. That means the patient will be totally in unconsciousness, totally unconscious. At this stage only surgeries are performed. Surgeries are performed as because in this stage there is no feeling of pain, there is no spinal reflexes. The spinal cord doesn't carry any impulses to the brain, as well as muscles won't respond to any sensation, and internal muscles also won't respond, and muscle tone disappears. So the patient is 100% stabilized in this stage. So in this stage only the surgeries are performed. In this stage only surgeries are performed. Surgeries are performed. If a patient is overdosed with the general anesthetic, he may go to the fourth stage. He may go to the fourth stage. This fourth stage is called as, technically called as stage of medullary depression. Medullary depression. So in this phase majorly there is a respiratory and circulatory failure occurs. He cannot breathe. Breathing failure occurs. Circulation failure occurs. As a result, pupils are widely dilated. Muscle totally flabby, means muscles are like dead person, and pulse is imperceptible. BP is very low. This stage is toxic, so it causes death. This generally it is because of overdose of the general anesthetic agents. This is about stages of general anesthesia. So coming to the classification of general anesthetics. So once again I am explaining these stages of anesthesia. The stage 1 is the time period from administration to the start of unconsciousness. Stage 2 is the start of complete unconsciousness to stage 2 is associated with complete unconsciousness and excitement, and irregular breathing is stage 2 features. In stage 3 the patient is completely immobilized. At this phase only, at this stage only the surgeries are performed. If the general anesthetic dose is overdose, it results fourth stage, that is the death stage. So it is a very toxic stage. This is about the 4 stages of the anesthesia. They are like the, so this is about stages of anesthesia. So for the medicinal chemistry purpose, this much of discussion is not important, but as if my question arises also to write something about general anesthetic, you can write these stages. Okay. Coming to the classification of general anesthetics are majorly classified into 2 categories, that is inhalation general anesthetics and intravenous general anesthetics. So general anesthetics are majorly classified into inhalation general anesthetics and intravenous general anesthetics. Majorly classified into 2 categories: inhalation general anesthetics and intravenous general anesthetics. And these inhalation anesthetics are classified into 2 categories: the gaseous anesthetics. Examples are like nitrous oxide. The example for the gaseous inhalation and general anesthetics are the nitrous oxide, nothing but laughing gas. And the next example is xenon. These are the 2 gaseous inhalation general anesthetics. So coming to the volatile liquids, these are again further classified into halogenated and non-halogenated. Okay, so halogenated and non-halogenated. Halogenated are the examples are halothine, halothine, okay, chloroform, chloroform, okay. So coming to the non-halogenated, cyclopropane, cyclopropane. So few more examples are also there for halogenated. Examples is methoxy, fluorine, enfluorine, enfluorine, isofluorine, isofluorine, okay, isofluorine. Coming to this few more examples for this non-halogenated are the diethyl, ether, vinyl, ether, okay. Halothane, chloroform, methoxy, fluorine, enfluorine, isofluorine, and some of few more examples are like desflurane, sevoflurane, sevoflurane, okay. These are the examples of halogenated volatile inhalation general anesthetics. So this is about inhalation general anesthetics. Coming to the intravenous general anesthetics, these are majorly classified into slow acting and inducing acting. The slow acting are again furtherly classified into three categories: dissociative anesthetics, opioid anesthetics, benzodiazepines, ultra short acting benzodiazepines, okay. So intravenous general anesthetics are again furtherly classified into two categories: slow acting, inducing acting. This slow acting is furtherly classified into dissociative anesthetics, opioids, benzodiazepines. Examples for the dissociative anesthetics is the ketamine is an example for dissociative anesthetic. For the opioid example is fentanyl, already discussed in non-steroidal and steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. The opioid slow acting intravenous general anesthetic is the fentanyl. Coming to the benzodiazepines, examples are diazepam, lorazepam, midazolam. So these are the examples for benzodiazepines. Coming to the inducing agents of intravenous class are the thiopentone, methoxytone, propofol, etomidate. These are the examples for inducing agents. Once again, explain the classification of general anesthetics. These general anesthetics are majorly classified into two categories: inhalation general anesthetics, intravenous general anesthetics. These inhalation general anesthetics are further classified into two categories: gaseous general anesthetics, volatile liquids. The examples for the gases are the nitrous oxide, is also called as laughing gas, and second example is xenon. Okay, these volatile liquids are furtherly classified into two categories: halogenated general anesthetics, non-halogenated general anesthetics. Examples for the halogenated general anesthetics are sevoflurane, halothane, chloroform, methoxyfluorine, enfluorine, isoflurane, desflurane. All fluorines are volatile halogenated inhalation general anesthetics. Okay, generally in bits it will be asked. Give an example for inhalation general anesthetic, volatile liquid, halogenated general anesthetic. So like for this, these are some examples for halogenated volatile inhalation general anesthetic. Examples are sevoflurane, halothane, chloroform, methoxyflurane, enflurane, isoflurane, desflurane. Coming to the non-halogenated volatile inhalation general anesthetics are the cyclopropane, diethyl ether, vinyl ether. Vinyl ether. This is about inhalation general anesthetic classes. Coming to the second class of general anesthetic, the intravenous general anesthetics. Second, this is the first class. Second, okay. So first category is inhalation general anesthetic. Second category is the intravenous general anesthetic. These intravenous general anesthetics are majorly classified into two categories: slow acting intravenous general anesthetics, inducing agents, otherwise simply inducing agents. In slow acting intravenous general anesthetics are classified into three categories again. Okay, one is the dissociative anesthetic, opioid anesthetics, and benzodiazepine, ultra short acting benzodiazepines. So examples for the dissociative anesthetic is the ketamine. For slow acting opioid anesthetic is the fentanyl. We already discussed in narcotic analysis, also synthesis. And for the benzodiazepines, the examples are the diazepam, lorazepam, midazolam. Coming to the inducing agents which comes under intravenous general anesthetics, examples are the thiopentone, methotrexate, propofol, etomidate. This is about classification of the general anesthetics. Okay, coming to the ideal characteristics of an general anesthetic agents are these are the ideal characteristics. So before taking any general anesthetic agent, it should have this. It should satisfy these all properties. It should satisfy all these characters. The first character, it should be inert. It should not react with any materials. Okay. It should be rapid and pleasant induction and withdrawal of surgical anesthesia. It should produce rapidly. It should, whenever a general anesthetic agent is administered, it should give its anesthetic effect very fastly and without any side effects. And withdrawal of surgical anesthesia must be also be fast. And adequate relaxation of the smooth muscle should be produced. It must produce adequate relaxation of smooth muscle. As well as it must be safe, non-toxic, free from adverse effects, and should be non-flammable, non-explosive. It must be non-flammable and non-explosive and compatible with anesthetic devices, and so it must be inert. So it must be inexpensive. And non-irritant mucous membrane. It should not cause any irritation to the mucous membrane. And should not produce hypotension, nausea, and vomiting. The best general anesthetic agent didn't produce any hypotension, nausea, vomiting. Hypotension is nothing but dropout of BP. Okay, so compatible with adjuvant drugs used in anesthesia. These are the general characteristics of the general anesthetic agents. The ideal characteristics of the general anesthetic agent. These characteristics must be have by a general anesthetic agent. Okay, with this we will conclude today's lecture.